Hey, what is up everybody, and welcome back to a new video. So today we're talking about Spotify filing to be listed on a New York Stock Exchange, which means that Spotify will be a public company that can be traded on the stock exchange. This is great news as I'm a user of Spotify and I've been looking into this company for a while, and I really want to start investing in the company because I truly believe in what they're doing, and they are, in my opinion, a lot better than Apple Music and all the other streaming websites and companies out there. But let's actually read an article about this subject. On Wednesday, the company filed a prospectus to sell shares on the New York Stock Exchange, an indication of the imminent arrival of one of the most anticipated technology stocks in years. It was also a signal of maturation of the streaming market that has already begun to revive the long-struggling music industry. Instead of a traditional initial public offering, or IPO, Spotify will, as expected, pursue a direct listing of its shares, an unusual process in which no new stocks is issued, and therefore no money is raised. However, existing investors and insiders can trade their shares on the open market. So what they are actually trying to do is list their company on the New York Stock Exchange. They don't want to sell any more stocks, so they're not going to offer any more stocks. They're just going to trade the stocks that are already available. But if you look at Spotify as a company, a lot of people are still struggling in believing in the company and the concept. As many of you know, the music industry is really expensive, so right now Spotify actually has a lot of trouble with actually financing the company. So what this means is that Spotify is spending a lot of money on royalties to different record labels, which charge a lot, and they're really just spending money everywhere just to keep the company running. As of right now, Spotify is not even profitable. So when you look at the valuation that a lot of different private investors has done, you have to think about that this is just a projection that they will be profitable looking forward. According to the prospectus, investors trading Spotify's shares in private transactions have valued the company as highly as $23 billion. So as you can see, the company has been valued at $23 billion, and even though they are not really profiting as of right now. Spotify has around 170 million users, and I think around 70 million of them are actually premium users, which are paying a monthly fee to be listening on the platform. You can also use Spotify for free, but what actually comes with this is that you have to listen to different ads, and you also are losing out on a lot of different features that the premium version gets. So that is how Spotify actually makes their money. The premium users is what they're looking for, but they also have the free users, which also generate money, probably not as much as the premium accounts, but when looking at the free accounts, a lot of them are probably ending up as paying customers in the end. But Spotify is actually becoming more profitable than they have been in the past. Their profit margin was around 16.16% as of 2016, but in 2017 they actually managed to rise their profit margin to 20%, which is a great increase for a company that still is losing a lot of money. As quickly as Spotify has grown though, so have its losses. Last year it had a net loss of $1.4 billion, up from about $650 million the year before. Its largest expense by far is the cost of license from record companies and music publishers. So as you can see, they are actually not making any money at all, and they are 1.4 billion in losses. That's a huge amount of money for a tech company, but when you look at all the different tech companies, a lot of them are not even profitable yet. Look at Amazon, which has barely started making a profit, and all these different tech companies which basically are not making that much money. When you look at Snapchat and all these different social media websites, they're not producing that much money in revenue, which ends up being that these companies are just valued for the future because people believe in these companies and what they can do in the future. This is exactly what I'm thinking about Spotify. I've been using Spotify for 5-6 years, and I remember when I didn't have Spotify. I used to listen to music through YouTube, and Spotify was the only platform that came out. They were basically the first platform to come out that was actually good. They had real music and not just like normal people uploading their music. This was real artists and you could stream it for free. I was a kid when I got my account. I listened to it for free. That was really great. And when I got older, I had enough money to pay for it, so I ended up paying instead. And that's how I think a lot of their customers will go from free users to paying customers in the end. But Spotify is a great platform. They have every music you can think about. But the only real threat against Spotify, I believe, is Apple Music. But the problem with Apple Music is they are, as usual, trying to protect their products and their software. So for example, they are really just trying to make their products the only one that actually want to use Apple Music. If I said, "Hi Siri, can you play Spotify?" it would say no. Or if I would say, "Hi Siri, can you play Apple Music?" it would instantly make that happen. Then that really shows that Apple is trying to make their platform grow, which I really get. But Spotify is still a better platform, and that is the only real threat, because there's a lot of Apple users around the world. And a lot of people are using their iPhones to listen to Spotify. So if Apple keeps releasing new features that actually makes Apple Music better, I think a lot of customers on Spotify might actually turn to Apple Music. But you also have to think about that not everyone is using an iPhone. So I do actually believe in Spotify as a company, and I will be an investor when it gets released. I might buy it at the day of the release, and the release date haven't actually been announced yet. But when it gets announced, I might actually invest that day. But I will release more information about that looking forward. But that is actually going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this one. Also comment if you have any questions about my investments or anything about entrepreneurship or anything like that. But that is it, and I will see you guys next time.